Now we are going to move to the last presentation of this session by Catherine Favard from Paris, Suisse OCT and Suisse Angio OCT for the diagnosis and follow-up of the choroidal tumors.
Evaluation and follow-up of choroidal tumors requires multimodal imaging. The advantage of swept source OCT is its longer wavelengths, enabling better penetration of the RPE and choroid. The purpose of this study is to describe and compare swept source OCT and ODI OCT features of a series of choroidal tumors and analyze the swept source OCT angio for macular and posterior pole tumors. It's a small preliminary study of 18 cases which were studied by multimodal imaging with OCT and angio-OCT analysis performed with HRA OCT of Heidelberg, with ODI mode, and swept source OCT Triton of Topcon. For NIVI, both OCT machines display similar features of regular dome shape with choroidal shadowing tumor, and the main sign is a thin choriocapillary layer at the NIVI location observed in more than 80% of the tumors. RP atrophy, photoreceptor loss, and irregular abnormalities of the outer retinal layers can be observed, and a serous detachment was observed in 209 NIVI cases. In this amelonotic nevus, both OCT can enable us to measure the diameter and the thickness of the lesion. However, in this pigmented nevus with a leakage point, it was impossible to measure the thickness since the nevus-scleral interface could not be identified. Swept source OCT angio of the same lesion shows thin intralesional vessels, but in this other nevus we can see large intralesional vessels. For melanomas, both OCT display similar features of posterior cone shadowing, anterior choriocapillary compression, and the presence of shaggy photoreceptors is the main characteristic sign of melanomas compared to NIVI according to Shields, and was found in 3 out of 4 cases. Lipofuscin deposits can be seen here also, associated with a serous detachment in all 4 cases. In this medium-sized melanoma, both angio and fluoangios show the large choroidal vessels. Swept source OCT shows shaggy photoreceptors, and angio OCT with swept source shows this large abnormal choroidal vessel associated with retinal capillary density decreased in the deep and superficial plexus. In this melanoma treated by proton beam at 2 years, we can see with FA that there is a radiation retinopathy as well as macular retinopathy, radiation maculopathy, which is very well followed up by HRA OCT angio, showing the decrease in the superficial and deep capillary layers with time. It is also observed with swept source OCT angio, showing the progressive decrease in the capillary density at the superficial and the deep capillary layer, and it has been shown that it is more important in the deep capillary layer. At the level of the tumor, as seen before, we have complete disappearance of the superficial and deep capillary layers, and as well as the choriocapillary loss, but a large feeder vessel is remaining here. Choroidal hemangioma is well diagnosed by FA and ICG in this case, and swept source and ODI OCT shows that it's an acutely dome-shaped and smooth tumor with a characteristic sign of fixed sponge-like choroidal vessels without compression and partial posterior shadowing. Subretinal fluid is always associated and is most of the time associated, but thickness could be measured because the tumor was too thick. Swept source OCT angio shows dilated intratumoral choroidal vessels. For this submacular choroidal tumor, the diagnosis couldn't be made by angio, fluo, and ICG, but was made by swept source OCT, showing the characteristic irregular lumpy bumpy anterior contour, which has been shown by Shields to be a diagnostic sign found in 64% of cases. There is also anterior compression of the overlying choriocapillary and posterior shadowing, as well as RPE abnormalities, and subretinal fluid is very common. The progression of thickness and diameter of this tumor has been observed by swept source OCT 1 month post an unsuccessful PDT. And the choriocapillary ischemia increased also 1 month after this treatment, is shown here. Our results it was impossible to do some statistical analysis with our results because it's a too small number of cases. However, we could measure the diameter in 78% of our cases, with a slightly larger diameter observed with swept source compared to ODI for hemangiomas and metastasis. Thickness measurement was only possible in 38% of our cases, and the limitation is the presence of a melanotic tumor, because as in Francis' study, which has been showing that only 29% of melanotic nevi thickness could be measured. ODI OCT appears also interesting for the acute measurement and follow-up of posterior pole nevi, and is 55% underestimated compared with ultrasound for shields. And for pigmented nevi analysis, swept source OCT has been proved by Francis to be more efficient than ODI OCT analysis. Angio OCT could be also interesting for the differential diagnosis of melanomas compared to nevi, since only in melanomas it has been observed that there is retinal capillary density decrease compared to the contralateral eye. Angio OCT also enables us an early diagnosis of radiation maculopathy. In conclusion, both OCT enable us contributive for choroidal tumor diagnosis. They show the characteristic signs of these tumors, which are summed up here. And both OCTs enable us an accurate diameter measurement, but it's impossible to measure the thickness in most of the pigmented tumors, as we have seen. Angio OCT enable us an early diagnosis and follow-up of radiation maculopathy, the analysis of choroidal tumors vessels, but we are still waiting for capillary density quantification. Thank you for your attention.